Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You a Tom's River resident there. We're back every Saturday, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Comcast Channel 190. You're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on live stream. We're all over the place. And we do this because you're concerned residents and citizens of Tom's River. You need to know what's going on. I'm here to bring that. Got my hair cut this morning at Leo's on 37. I look beautiful, don't I? For a million years. I went to my buddy Giuseppe in Jersey City. He was in the paper a couple of years ago about cutting hair for 75 years. He passed on recently, so it's Leo now for me. But I've used Leo a couple of times when we were getting prepared for a show down here and I needed to get a haircut. So looks like it would be Leo for me when I'm in the Seaside studio here. I'll be going to see Leo. Today we have Mo Hill, the mayor of Tom's River. He's about a 18-minute interview today. We did it earlier in the morning. We're talking to Mo about your reval that's coming up. We're talking about the land sale at the auction that went sideways there, but it works out. We're going to talk a little bit about COVID with Mo Hill. We had a lot of topics, but we did a lot on the reval, so we'll bring Mo Hill back. If you remember during the election, he was talking about doing a show once a month where we take questions from the town of Tom's River. I think we'll start moving forward in that. I talked to Mo about that a little bit today, where once a month or so, we're doing it also with Mayor Fulop in Jersey City called Meeting with the Mayor. And it's about a half hour or so. We'll take questions. He'll tell you what's going on in Tom's River, and it will be a live program. And if you miss it live, you can watch it on live stream on YouTube or our Facebook channel. But right now, we're going to break for commercial, and then we're going to come back with Mo Hill.
You know those times when you need to see the doctor, but you just can't get to the doctor? So where do you go? Go to the App Store, download the Telemed app from RWJ Barnabas Health, and you see the doctor right away. From any mobile device, whenever you want, wherever you are.
Quality care, no appointment necessary. The doctor is online when you download the Telemed app.
Don't you feel better already?
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. All right, my next guest is the mayor of Tom's River, my buddy Mo Hill. Let's bring Mo in.
Hello.
There he is. Want a coffee? We got fresh coffee. Hey, by the way, aren't you supposed to be in this studio doing like a monthly meeting with the mayor or something?
It should be, except COVID kind of destroyed everything. You know, we're all, you know, that has thrown a real monkey wrench into everything this year.
For that matter, your counterpart in Jersey City is going to be coming into the other studio now physically doing meeting with the mayor. So maybe we should set the two of you guys up in a time frame around the same time. We could do you remotely, okay, but I'd like to have you here so we could take questions from Tom's River. But that's okay. Something we could talk about.
All right.
You got a reval going on in Tom's River. It's beginning. Yes. Tell me about it, because we went through one in Jersey City, and it was tough on a lot of residents. I'm telling you, some residents, their tax bill went from like $6,000 a year, $7,000 to $43,000. But we didn't do one for 25, 26 years. And the downtown of Jersey City changed dramatically in those 25 years.
Yeah. Tom's River had a reval. Our last reval was 2008. It wasn't a good experience, I will tell you, because what happened in 2009 was the housing market crash. So we were dealing with about 4,000 reevaluations or appeals, tax appeals a year. And it was difficult to plan for the taxes or your budget because we were constantly getting hit with tax appeals. It started this year with just within the last month. We're basically starting on the western side of town and moving to the east. I would anticipate that the Barrier Island will probably be the last section to do. Right now, they're doing the exterior measurements, so there will be people wearing blue shirts. The cars are not marked, but they will have a badge, an ID badge. They're only going to be outside. They're not coming inside as of now. That's later on in the reevaluation process. So as I said, they're starting out on the western side on Route 37 near Ciba-Geigy and moving to the east. And then residents should get letters about a week or two before they're in your area to notify you that they'll be in the area. But again, they'll be wearing a blue golf shirt and they'll have an ID. You should be able, if you have any questions, ask to see their ID. They should not be coming into the houses. So it's just exterior measurements.
Do you have any thought on how this is going to play out for the residents of Toms River?
As always, if you talk to people who've undergone reevaluations, usually historically a third of the properties might go up, a third will stay the same, and then maybe a third go down. It's a mixed bag. It's going to be difficult to say. We've had a lot of properties rebuilt since Sandy. If their tax assessment is relatively up to date, I wouldn't anticipate a lot of change. If you haven't had a reevaluation or not a new property, then you're probably going to see some increase. But we've had a lot of new homes. A lot of the homes on the Barrier Island and on the Bayfront have been elevated, and they've been increased in the size of the dwelling. So again, they might be assessed slightly higher than what they were previously. But if they were assessed by the tax assessor recently, I wouldn't anticipate much change.
What are the effects of Sandy in Toms River to today on the ratables?
Well, we were way down, but again, we had our tax reevaluation in 2008 probably wasn't as accurate as it should have been. There were problems with it. We had a lot of tax appeals. We lost a lot of properties. We're slowly coming back. I think we still have about $1 billion or so, or $1.5 billion to $2 billion below where we were before Sandy. But again, with this reevaluation, some of that may be recaptured. But again, the Sandy, what happened is a lot of the homes were smaller summer homes, and with the elevation, they've been rebuilt sometimes in some cases 2-3 stories where there might have been 1 story or 2 stories in the past. So the homes are generally that are being rebuilt bigger than they were prior to Sandy, and also elevated. So those are the biggest issues. Anything that was on waterfront or near waterfront that was damaged, we're seeing elevations, and we're also seeing an increase in the size of the house.
Well, actually, with the elevation, these homes now have garages that are going to impact the assessment right there. When they raised it the 10 feet, most of these homes just converted that space into a garage, and that's going to affect.
Yeah, but I don't think that the garage really isn't. I don't think that's calculated much into living space. It is calculated in the exterior size, but again, all your parking is just the car, so I don't think it's assessed as living space. But I'd have to check with our tax assessor. Good question.
Well, and I know in Seaside Heights or in the Barrier Islands, everybody who was raised, they got a garage in there,
Yeah.
probably a 2-car garage out of there. I want to continue with the reval, but let me take a break for commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. Our guest is Mo Man, the mayor of Toms River. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just 1 path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. We're back. You're watching the Tom River Show. Let's go back to the mayor of Tom River, Maurice Hill, my buddy Mo. Come on back. There he is. Welcome back.
Hello?
Did you get a coffee? No? During the break?
No.
Where did you find the people who are doing the revow for you?
We went out with an RFP, and I think we had 2 or 3 people who put in bids. We went with obviously opened the bids. The bid came in a little lower than what we had anticipated, which was always good. So we saved a little bit of money there. And the company is local. So they have offices in Jersey, and the computer systems they use are synced up with the county tax system, from what I understand. So it's going to should be a seamless process working with them.
Yeah, that was one of the issues in Jersey City when we did our revow. There was issues with the appraisal company that was doing it, but it all worked out in the end. Yeah. Unless you had property in downtown, it didn't work out well for you in Jersey City. Speaking of land, you did an auction in Tom's River, and you had one particular piece of property that the guy bids on it. Then he got caught up in the excitement of the auction. He wins the bid. Then he goes, well, yeah, I wasn't really interested in the property for that price. So oddly, they agree to a lower price, but all along the price was assessed, the property was assessed at around $700,000, and the auction's going to sell it for about $247,000. Go. Tell me what happened there.
Well, first of all, the assessment was a township assessment on the open land, and the $750,000 was excessive. I've talked to a number of builders, and we felt somewhere between 275 and 3.25 might be where the actual appraisal would come out. They went to auction. You're correct. It was bid up to, I think, 318,000. The winning bidder did not execute the sale the way he was supposed to. He was supposed to wire transfer the money within 24 hours. He didn't. The auctioneer contacted him. He said he was not going to go forward with the 318,000. The auctioneer spoke with the second bidder. Second bidder wanted certain assurances from the township, which can only be given by the planning board or zoning board. So he did not want to place a bid. The auctioneer then went back to the winning bidder, and he said he would pay $247,500 for the property. None of us, neither the council, myself, were comfortable with that. We felt that was a flawed process. So the council was presented with this offer, which they could either accept or reject. It was unanimously rejected. We're going to hold on to the property. We may rebid it in the future. We may also keep it in the township inventory, but none of us felt comfortable with the process. We thought it was a flaw. The winning bidder should have executed his bid and not gotten a second bite at the apple. So rightly so, the council rejected it 7-0.
Yeah, might as well wait until after the rebound now.
Well, exactly. I mean, we had the option to either accept or reject the price. And when we saw that he was not going to sell it or not going to purchase it at the 318,000, which would have been, I think, an acceptable bid, and wanted to offer about 70,000 less, the council voted no. We're not going to accept that bid. End of story.
That's the right thing to do there. Let's
Yeah,
move
and
along.
it just, as I said, the council's obligated since we had an auction. They held an auction. The auctioneer presents a bid, and the council did the right thing. I had sent them a memo saying I thought they should be rejected because of the flawed process, and we should hold it in inventory.
I never seen an auction work that way. Where the bidder said, "Nah, I changed my mind," but I guess that was unique in this situation. COVID in Toms
Well,
River in Ocean County. Are you
yes.
concerned about the uptick here in Ocean County?
Well, I will tell you that all along, the numbers that I think are important are the hospital numbers. And I sit on the Community Medical Center, RWJ Barnabas Community Medical Center Board of Trustees. So what I did is I contacted the administration and I said, can you send me total hospital numbers? And so I get daily, or now I think it's every other day, the New Jersey Hospital Association numbers, their total hospitalization numbers throughout the entire state. As of yesterday, I think we had a little over 300 patients that were COVID positive in all of the hospitals in New Jersey. I will tell you that in Ocean County, I think there were 18 patients in Medical Center South, which is the old Paul Kimball Monmouth Medical South Campus, and there were a couple in Ocean Med. Community had 2 patients. Jersey Shore had, I think, 28. Now, to put this in perspective, they're considered COVID positive patients, but that may not be their primary diagnosis. And I asked that question of Mr. Pat Ahern, who's the CEO of Community. At one point, Community had 6 COVID positive patients in the hospital. 2 of them were there for other primary diagnoses. It could have been cardiac, heart failure. It could have been kidney disease, could have been anything, could have been surgical procedure. But when they came in, they were COVID positive on a test. They may have been asymptomatic. So out of the 6 Community had at that one time, 4 were primarily in there for COVID. So when I look at those numbers, the hospitalizations are very low. Our gross numbers are going up. But again, the treatment of the disease has changed dramatically. In the beginning, you'll remember it was all about patients needing ventilators. Now they found that's not the appropriate treatment. If you're COVID positive, they're starting you on heparin and anticoagulants because they found there are blood clots that form in the lung and in the brain. They're using remdesivir, which is an antiviral agent. They're using vitamin D. They're changing the positioning of the patients, calling it proning. So that reduces the pressure on the lungs. They're also going from ventilators to using CPAP machines, which deliver oxygen at a lower pressure. They found the ventilators were causing damage to the lung, and then they having difficulty weaning the patients off the ventilator. So the treatment regimen has changed, and I think that has led to a higher success rate and a much lower mortality rate than we had initially. As you know, New Jersey had probably the highest mortality rate. New York was percentage-wise anyway. A lot of those deaths in Ocean County, I can tell you when I looked at the numbers, 85% of the fatalities were over the age of 65. We didn't have any under the age of 18. And in Toms River, when I looked at the numbers, 74% of those fatalities were in nursing homes. So as we found in both New York and New Jersey, the majority of the deaths were occurring in the nursing homes. And again, that was because people were being placed in the nursing homes and there wasn't really, I don't think, adequate isolation capability in the nursing homes. It wasn't in place at that time.
Look at the president. President comes
I
down with
know.
COVID, and he's in there.
Right.
3 days later, he's back at the White House. He's
Yeah.
doing videos.
Yeah,
It just shows you how the treatment has changed.
Yeah, it has. A lot of the patients are asymptomatic, not downplaying the severity of the disease, but again, we have to weigh, the closures that we've undergone against the risk on the disease. And I'm in a high risk group, but I think we need to start opening up the economy. I thought we should have had indoor dining back on July 4th. It particularly impacted our restaurants here at the shore area, which rely heavily on the shore traffic in the summer months from basically Memorial Day to Labor Day. And our governor didn't open indoor dining till Labor Day. And I will tell you that every mayor from Ocean, Monmouth, Atlantic, Cape May County constantly were asking for indoor dining at the 25% reduced capacity. Finally, it didn't happen until Labor Day, and I think that was an incorrect move.
I'll let you go on
What we
this.
had to do, what we
Good.
had to do is we did outdoor dining. So
Let me let you go on this. Vote by mail. How do you feel about that?
I think it's the exact opposite of what should happen. If you're handicapped, you can vote by machine. If you're able-bodied, you can only vote by paper ballot. That seems to me to be the exact reverse. If you're handicapped or visually impaired, you should be using a paper ballot where you can use magnification or you can have assistance with the paper ballot if you need it. And able-bodied people should be able to go in and vote on a voting machine. I don't know how we can stand on motor vehicle lines for hours on end with 150, 200 people, and that's considered safe, but we can't go in and vote. I think it's incorrect, inappropriate, particularly with a big election. No matter who wins, there's going to be controversy.
I could go to ShopRite. I could go to Home Depot. I could stand in line, but I can't stand in line to vote for some reason. I agree wholeheartedly with you. All right, Mo, we're out of time. I'll call you during the week. We got to start getting you out there, doing your mayor show. Let's open up Tom's River. Let's promote Route 37 and our businesses here in Tom's River, and you're the guy to do it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mo. Be good. Take care. Tom's River Mayor Maurice Mo Hill. I'm Pat O'Melia. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend. Pan & Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panandpintoproperties.com. Pan & Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
We're back. You're watching the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. Nice day today. One of the last few nice days of 20. If there are nice days in 2020, it's been a very difficult year. Weather-wise, it's nice. We're going to be good all this week, it looks like. So enjoy the weather. I think it's going to be like 80 degrees on Saturday when my show is. I was going to put a nice dress shirt on for Mo, but it's really nice outside, so I kept the short sleeve on. What are we going to talk about? Well, Mo Hill, like I said in the opening, we're going to start bringing him in. He's good at hosting his own show. If you recall, during the campaign, he was doing a live show. Vote by mail. We touched base with that with Mo. I know your reaction is to do it early, but hold off. You still got presidential debates, you got your local debates, you got local campaigns, you still got literature coming to your home. If you want to make an informed vote, you got to know the issues and the facts. And you won't know that unless you hear the candidates. Now, normally November 3rd is the election day. That's not the case anymore. We won't know the results of any election on November the 3rd. If you recall the primary, back in June, we didn't know results until around the end of July, July 24th, July 26th. So you have time. They're going to be counting your ballots well after Election Day. I think they're projecting to be counting ballots a week after Election Day. Take your time, make an informed. You only get to vote once. So make sure you make an informed vote, listen to your candidates, listen to their platform. How would that particular candidate work with your goals, your future, your living situation, your quality of life, the safety of your town and your family? Listen to what the candidates are saying. I just noticed, I'm a Jersey City guy. One of our councilmen, James Solomon, he's got a picture of him mailing his ballot. He's mailing his ballot before the vice presidential debates, special debates we're having in Jersey City for expired council seats, 2 presidential debates. Yeah, you want to make an informed vote, you got to hear what's going on, what the candidates are saying, and what the platforms are. That's why we go about doing it. But don't worry about getting your vote in on time. We're going to be counting these votes a long time and take it to the bank. Most of these elections are going to the courts. Whether they're going to the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court, or whatever the court they're going to, they're going there because there are going to be issues. They just found ballots in North Arlington that somebody dumped. There are going to be issues with an all vote by mail. And really what we should have done, I know this Democrats' head would have exploded, but we should have held this off for a year. And if it was a 4-year term, it would have been a 3-year term until we get past the COVID. But you can't get people to agree on if the sun is shining. If somebody says, a Republican says the sun's shining, the Democrats will say, what sun? There's no sun. So hold off on that. They signed the plastic bag and brown paper bag ban that'll take 18 months to go into effect. I agree with the plastic bags. The plastic bag isn't the problem. It's how we handle the plastic bag. I have problems with them blowing around the street. If you're driving down the street and you get a plastic bag in your accessory drive, that's your fan belts and all on your car, you got a problem. If it gets caught on your exhaust system, you can smell that. We're the problem. Now, the legislation is well intended, but it is so narrow, and there's no problem with brown paper bag. I'd rather a brown paper bag than plastic. There's no biodegradable, they're environmentally friendly, but we're banning them too. We may as well ban all paper products. You take home delivery, especially during the COVID, and it'll probably be very topical, even if we ever get out of COVID. Home delivery, what are they going to do? They're not going to be able to put it in plastic bags. I guess they can deliver in boxes or canvas bags. It was well intended. I am sure by the time we get through the 18 months, there'll be some addendums to that legislation. So watch, but if necessary, start stockpiling on plastic bags now at the ShopRites. When you do it, grab a few extra ones. All right, we're at a show. You're watching the Tom River Show. I'm Pat O'Melia. You be good, you be safe, and thank you, Mo Hill, for being our guest. Good night.